another nail in my coffin.
Hey everybody, it's me, friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete, and this is my series, Nails in a Coffin, where we learned that with great kills, there must also come great nails. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you are new here, real quick, what I do here on my Nails in a Coffin series is I perform a kill analysis on the on-screen kills in horror movies, and I use Nails in a Coffin as a rating system. One nail in a coffin means the victim made a lot of dumb decisions, like splitting up, running upstairs instead of running outside. We've all seen it in horror movies. The more stupid decisions you make, you're going to get less nails. But a victim can get up to 4 nails in a coffin if they fought hard, sacrificed themselves to save others, just made a smart decisions, because you know, smarter you are, the more nails you can get. You saw the title of this video. Today I'm covering The Strangers from 2008, written and directed by Brian Bertino, who also wrote and directed The Monster, an A24 film that is underrated in my opinion. And he also produced The Black Coat's Daughter, another excellent film from A24. This film stars Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. They're a young couple who are being terrorized by 3 unknown assailants in their home. This is one of those inspired by true events films. Well, did these victims in this movie make any stupid decisions that made it easier for them to die? Well, let's find out as we put some nails in a coffin with The Strangers. James and his girlfriend Kristen arrive home after an evening at a friend's wedding reception. There's tension between the two because we learn that James actually proposed to Kristen at the wedding and she did not say yes. What makes this part even more awkward is there's rose petals all over the bedroom with candles, and I think this part of the movie, the beginning, is well acted since you actually can feel the tension in this couple right now. And this part of the movie makes you really feel uncomfortable, and that's a lot said without a lot of dialogue. But yeah, it's a great opening to this movie. It's awkward in the house, and James calls his best friend Mike to come pick him up in the morning. James is hurt, which is understandable, and Kristen feels hurt that she caused James to be hurt. She's trying to console him, and they embrace and start to make out and fondle each other and stuff, and things start to get heavy, but then they're rudely interrupted by a knock at the door. James answers a knock, and it's a young woman cloaked in the shadows of darkness. She asks if someone named Tamara was home, and James tells her that she has the wrong house, and when she leaves, she says, "See you later." That's a red flag as far as I'm concerned. Why always when I'm filming? Oh, God. I was filming this late at night because it's nice and quiet, but let's see who the hell's interrupting me. Let's record this. That was odd. There was no one there. Anyways, James leaves to go get a pack of cigarettes for Kristen, and before leaving, he lights a fire in the fireplace for her. While he's gone, Kristen realized that the flue was closed, and she's trying to close it as the room is starting to fill up with smoke. The smoke alarm goes off. Kristen gets a chair, and she's trying to take the alarm off, and she's startled by another loud knock at the door. She's scared, and she attempts to use her cell phone to call James, but her cell phone is dead because movie. And she goes into the bedroom to call James on the landline and to change out of the dress that she was wearing. While on the phone with James, the line is cut off. Kristen is back in the living room and there's no more banging on the front door. Her fear is growing and it gets much worse when she sees the smoke alarm that was left on the floor is now on a chair. She knows someone else is in the house and she's hearing more noises from outside. She goes to call the police, but her cell phone is missing. She's holding a knife and now there are noises from all outside the house. She's by the patio and she opens the curtains and a man is standing there wearing a sack mask. Terrified, she then sees the front door slowly open. She slowly walks over to the door and closes it, and there's a blonde woman outside wearing a doll mask. Kristen closes the door and falls to the floor scared to death, and then she hides in the bedroom and there's loud banging all over the walls of the house. Kristen is terrified. She's sitting on the floor in the bedroom when James arrives back home and she tells him what happened. They're looking around the house. They don't find anyone. James goes to check his car, but the windows are smashed and the tire is flat. While he's looking in the car, he's tapped on the shoulder by somebody, but they disappear before he can see who it is. He goes back into the house and he's wrapping a wound that is on Kristen's hand. He tries to call the police, but the battery on his cell phone is now missing. They both know that their house has been breached. They try to leave in James's car, even with the flat tire, but it's rear-ended by a woman in a pinup girl mask. James and Kristen are forced to run back inside the house. The house is James's summer home from when he was a child. He finds a shotgun and the shells for it. Someone is then using an axe to break into the front door. James and Kristen push the piano against it to barricade it. The man in the mask is trying to break down the door with the axe, but James loads a shotgun, fires around out the door, temporarily scaring off the man in the sack mask. Okay, we're our first death in the movie. James's friend Mike arrives. Remember, James called him earlier in the night asking him to come pick him up? Mike got there early because he just wanted to be there for his friend. He calls James while he's in the car, but a brick is thrown through his windshield. He jumps out of the car, but he can't see who did it. He then sees the state of James's car. He slowly walks towards the house and picks up the axe that was laid on the ground before going in. He's walking through the house silently. The man in the mask is behind him, but he doesn't see him. He approaches the bedroom door, and as soon as he passes the threshold, bam! James shoots him in the head with the shotgun. I'm going to award Mike 1.5 nails in the coffin. Hear me out on this one. He got to James's house, and a brick was thrown through his windshield. He sees James's car totaled. The front door is open and busted from an axe. He picks up the axe laying by the front door and enters the house. He never calls out for James or Kristen. That would be the first thing I would do to find my friend. They were obviously best friends since Mike went to go pick James up early, and he said he wanted to be there for him. Everything looks like things are not okay. If he called out and announced his presence, he most likely would not have been shot in the head. That's why police announce themselves if they have to enter a home or a room. Granted, the man in the mask was behind him, and we don't know what would have happened if he did call out. And this is not entirely Mike's fault, since James is such a dumbass. There was a lot of stupid in this kill, and I was torn between 1 and 2 nails from Mike, because I have to put the blame on James as well. So that's why I'm going to go down the middle and award this stupid kill, well, the stupid people in this kill, 1.5 nails in the coffin. James is devastated that he just killed his best friend, and he doesn't have much time to grieve. Shattered, James remembers an old radio transmitter in the backyard shed. He makes his way to the shed, but he confronts Dollface, and he tries to get a shot off at her, but the man in that mask rushes up behind him and knocks him out just as James fires around. Hearing the shot, Kristen is kind of worried, obviously. She runs to the shed to go try and find James. She can't find him, however she does find the radio. She's trying to contact anyone, and she hears someone taunting her. Right as Kristen gets out a little help on the radio, Pinup Girl destroys it. Kristen runs back into the house, and she gets cornered by Dollface. The man in the mask drags James into the room and just dumps him on the floor. Kristen runs into another room, and then she's slowly walking back out of it, and she's attacked and knocked out by the man in the mask. They were both knocked out, and it is morning, and the sun is up. James and Kristen awaken tied to chairs. Dollface, Pinup Girl, and the man in the mask are standing in front of them. And this is kind of a cool shot. Kristen asks the groups, why are they doing this?
Because you were home.
Even the way the man looks at Dollface says a lot. The 3 assailants take their masks off, and Kristen and James know their time is up since they showed them their faces. The unmasked trio takes turns slowly stabbing James and Kristen in the stomach and chest. James dies from his wounds while in the chair, and then the 3 of them leave Kristen to die alone. The trio leave the house, get into their pickup truck, and they start driving away. While they're leaving, they pass 2 young boys walking their bikes, spreading the word of God. Dollface gets out of the truck, and she approaches the 2 boys. She asks for a pamphlet, and the boy asks her, are you a sinner? She quietly responds, sometimes. And they give her a pamphlet, and then the trio continue to drive away. The 2 boys find the house, they go inside, see the aftermath, they see James's body, he's dead, and then they walk over to Kristen to go check on her. One of the boys kneels down, he goes to check on her, reaches out, and then she gives us one jump scare to end the movie. Taking all their actions into consideration throughout this movie, I'm going to rate James and Kristen together. And I am going to count Kristen's death since in the sequel we learned that she did die from shock. I'm going to give each of them 1 nail in the coffin. You know, it's not the smartest thing to answer a knock at the door in the middle of the night. Even though that just kind of happened to me, but nobody was there. Dollface also said, see you later before leaving. That would creep me out. I'd be a little, cautious. I wouldn't have left to go get my girlfriend cigarettes after that happened. And when James first saw his car was vandalized, why did he wait to call the police? He went back inside the house. You know, his girlfriend just told him he was being terrorized. You know, he saw his car vandalized, and he brings his cell phone back into the house, puts it on the counter to go talk to his girlfriend before calling somebody that he could come help him. It just didn't make sense. He had a shotgun with a fair number of rounds, and all he achieved with it was killing his best friend. He could have checked Mike's pocket for a phone or the keys to Mike's car. If they made a run for it with the shotgun, if they had, let's say, the keys to Mike's car, Kristen could have had the keys. James could have covered her with the shotgun. They could have at least stood a chance. And James lost sight of his surroundings when he was going for the shed. He acted like there was only one person out there. He never checked his back, turned his head, or did anything. So yeah, he could have made a weapon for Kristen. They could have done so much other than just the decisions that they made. I think Kristen was pretty useless in this movie. And yeah, James didn't fare much better. They really made a lot of poor decisions in this movie. So I'm going to award each of them one nail in the coffin. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all my nails in the coffin for The Strangers. Here's a quick summary of all the nails I've awarded. Obviously not a lot of kills in this movie, which is a nice break from covering some of the Puppet Master films with over 20 kills. So it's nice to cover a film with only a few number of kills. Again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you here next week when I cover The Strangers. Pray at night. No, they're knocking on my door. I'll get to that. Sorry. Let me wrap this up. I did enjoy parts of this film. I liked the tension in the beginning with James and Kristen. That was good, but I don't feel like they really followed up on that. And the middle of the movie did fall a little flat for me, a little paint by the numbers, but it was okay. But I did enjoy the creepy ending of the movie with the "because you were home." That part I really did enjoy. So, yeah, not entirely bad, not the best thing I said, but a serviceable movie. We'll see how the sequel gets nailed next week, so take care of yourselves. Until then, be safe, be good to each other. I am your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete, and remember, with great kills, there must also come great nails.